So I'm out at the farm where I keep most of my beehives, and this tree came down probably 12 months ago or a bit more. And there's bees in here. The farmer wants them gone so he can cut up this wood. So they're just coming and going in and out of that little hollow there. So I'd say they're probably living down in this part of the log. I've been thinking about how to do this. I've done these before and it's pretty tedious trying to cut this open and hang the comb properly and all that. So what I think I'm going to do this time is I'm going to cut this off horizontal and sit a bee box up there, and then I'm just going to cut the log open down here further and try and smoke the bees out and get them to go up into my box, and then close this off and just try and move them into my equipment. But yeah, I don't really know what to find, whether the hive's strong enough. May not be worth worrying about. All I'm trying to do is get an extra colony of bees. If nothing else, I can use the bees to strengthen one of my weak hives or something like that. So we'll see how it goes. It's a bit of a hollow there, but can't see any activity there. We'll see what happens. So there aren't really many bees flying, so I've got the feeling it's a bit weak, but we'll find out. So I can't hear much buzzing. Here's the bottom end of the hive here. Dry honeycomb. There's a bee. There's just a few coming out to check me out. I'll just see what I can do here. It's interesting. It's dragging out a dead one. Looks like it was just emerging, sort of. The idea is to drive them out with smoke, drive them up there, but I think it's going to be a bit of a waste of time. They look pretty weak to me. Alright, I'll cut a bit more. So I've just cut a section off. I'll just lift it up now, see what's underneath. I've started to find a bit of honey. Just a few bees in there, a little bit of honeycomb. got a feeling this is the extent of the hive here. You can see bees in that gap there, but this is just sort of a shell of wood that's sitting over the comb. You can see there, nice fat honeycomb there. The trouble with this job is when you use a chainsaw you get bloody sawdust, and so it's a bit hard to save that honey, but I'll just chuck it in a bucket for now. The interesting thing when you do these jobs is, you know, the tree was standing up like that one, then it falls over, and it's a bit of a lottery. Like, what's the orientation of the comb going to be? You know, if the comb was standing up like this and the tree comes over and the comb's laying down like that. But they've managed to rework things here and they've survived through the summer, so they've done all right. They've put away a bit of honey. But anyway, I'll crack on now. I'll just put the ute a bit closer so I've got a work platform now. But that's what I'm thinking. If I can get them to go in that box up there, I don't know how this is going to work. It's a bit of a mess, but we'll see what happens. So you can see the orientation of that comb's incorrect. It's sort of laying down, so yeah, it's obviously been incorrect and they've tried to fix it a bit, and they've probably built some new stuff somewhere. There's a bit of activity up at my box there, so it's encouraging. So that's got combs in it, sort of brood combs with a bit of honey in them and a couple of honey frames and that. So hopefully they'll recognise that as home and they'll go in there. Tricky thing about this is there's a lot of just cracks and crevices down in the wood, and you know, who knows where the queen is. Hopefully she's making her way up that way somewhere. Anyway, I'll just keep picking away at this, try and get some more of this comb out. So still working away. So I have found a little bit of brood comb here. Like I was saying, with that orientation, it's sort of laying down flat, but they're still raising brood in it, which is kind of interesting. Anyway, I'm just trying to get more of this honeycomb out of here, and then I'll try and get that brood comb out and frame it up, and then I'll put that in the box, and it should attract them up there to go in the box. I've got that brood comb just loosened up there. I'll just try and frame it up. I'm just looking at the brood. It looks healthy to me. There's just a couple of cells open, so hopefully that's enough for them to smell it through the entrance of my hive box, and they'll go up in there. Just looking for the queen, but can't see her on here. So there was more beehive down here in this other branch. There it is there, so I'll just have to work through that. Still just chipping away at this hive. It's getting a bit late now, the sun's going down. I'm just trying to pick comb out of this side, trying to move all the bees up that way. And when I realise they're sort of clustering out this other end. Yeah, there's the bees there, sort of clustering on this other end. Might try and scoop some up and drop them in the top of the box. I can see through to the other side where I was working, so there's light at the end of the tunnel. Well, I've sort of got them marching in now at the moment, which is encouraging. They're going to have a bit of a challenge to warm up inside this box tonight. Sticking my hand inside this log, it's nice and warm in there, but they're going to have a bit of a battle to warm up in the log and cluster up in there. There's plenty of honey in there for them, so it's not like it's just an empty box. I haven't spotted the queen, unfortunately, but it's pretty hard to see her in a log like this. Plenty of places to hide. So I'm glad to see them walking in like this. I've virtually removed all the comb out of the log now. There's just a few scraps left. I'd like to get to the point where I can cut the front of the log off like that, just to really give them no option to go back in the log, so they have to go in the box. Actually pretty nice bees. They haven't really tried to attack me and sting me to death or anything, so still a bit of a cluster of bees in there. Gonna have to keep working, getting that comb out of there, otherwise they won't leave. So I did a bit more with the chainsaw. Just cut this face off here. It's got to move in a bit more. They were sort of hiding back in behind this comb and that. Couldn't really get at them. Anyway, they're marching in there a bit now. Just got this little crowbar wrecking bar thing. Those watching in Australia, anyone know what that is? It's kind of like an egg. There's been quite a few of them in this log. I'm not really sure what it is. There's quite a few of them in here. Yeah, look here, more cluster of bees in the back there. A few young fuzzy bees, they got no idea what's going on, so they don't know where to go. But the sun's going down shortly, so I've got to get on with it. There's more of those egg thingies. Something's hatched out of them. That's about it, guys. Got it all cut right open now. There's nowhere for them to hide. It's just a few stragglers working their way up to the entrance. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching.